P-Ryan, looking so fine.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A first down throw for Winston. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Drops it to Jones in the flat, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game too. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Here's Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Ronald Jones with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Elliott good with a PAT. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Flag out right away, and I believe our day will begin with a 1st and 15. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete to open things up. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he comes back with one complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
He'll look to throw. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And some room to roam now. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the 1st down yardage before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there.
Get pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Green 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before. Because
there he goes, right side. The 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Ronald Jones, 77 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And now out come the Patriots. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go ahead and get something out of it, not just 1 yard. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. But they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving. Back to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the
blitz coming, and down he goes.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. 319. 319.
He'll look to throw. And he's got a moonwalk. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still not long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. gun. They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. That pick six extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled.
It's a foot race. The 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots make some inroads here on that deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Shane Ray. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him, and this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Adam Humphries, his third touchdown now on the year, and the Patriots get a score closer. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
Well, they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now a play fake here on first down. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Jameis again. The quick slant caught. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears will extend their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, good move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Samaje Perine of the offense heading back out there. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Ronald Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And now it's blocked. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for it. Around the NFL, 2nd quarter down in Tampa. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And the Bucks are out to an early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Samaje Perine of the offense heading back out there. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Now a carry for Perine. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to Foxborough after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait and enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphries. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now Pirine. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Here's Pirine. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. They'll run it here with Pirine. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bet.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. Throw right side complete to Carter. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. On 1st and 10, Winston. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 2nd down, Winston. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. Now Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Ronald Jones as the first half is winding down. And the Bears add on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go.
It's Pirine to begin the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So we were an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
But I think the ball's out. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. Room to run past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down carry by Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Jameis to throw it. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. Winston on 3rd and 2. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
They'll run to Marshall, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Tyquan Lewis makes a stop. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Anunwa's got it, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Hurry up, here we go.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a third and about 5.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down. And when you've already thrown 2 interceptions, you got to take extra special care of the football because that one could very easily have been a third.
Yeah, off-balance, pressure coming. Probably just has to stick that one in his pocket, right?
He does. I just think that when he's in a rut like this, I think this happens to a lot of quarterbacks, they try and overcome it by making big-time throws. Throws they know they shouldn't make, but they're hoping to complete them rather than having the confidence that they actually will.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
Couldn't take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Jameis now on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They go back to the ground with Jones. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Throwing, Winston. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears continue to pour it on. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, sir.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time. 3rd down here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and get...
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Give him 8 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Winston now. Over the middle, complete. That's Carter. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping them from the...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Bears add on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out and made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. New England on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
3-19.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Winston here to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deron Harmon. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys? Right?
Here we go.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand.
But he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation.
Here we go.
In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. Now a desperation throw deep, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. William Jackson with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Jones. Sidesteps him at the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Down right around the 25. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Stay in there.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another 1st down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Winston keeps himself upright. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Here's Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.